How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about OCGN. I promise I'll give you guys an update. So here we go into it. So first we have to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below in the description. But if you are a shareholder or you are considering to take a position, I highly suggest you watch the entire video. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is a big time milestone from OCGN, and I know you guys are really going to be looking forward to hearing this and why it is so significant. Secondly, this is, yes, coming from my people over at Reddit, putting out some golden information. This has something to do with what we're going to be going over in Fintel, but it just tells us, hey, institution, remember I said an institution or a financial firm or a hedge fund is showing some interest in OCGN. But the interesting part about it, you know what? We'll share it when we get there. And then we're going to be taking a look at the updated short interest information. We want to know what is the overall market sentiment, especially taking into consideration Friday close. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts and also going over what I'm going to be sharing in the next OCGN video for tomorrow. So the big milestone I want to share with you guys in regards to OCGN is the inclusion in the Russell 3000 index. This is huge. To break this down and what this exactly means, you remember that song from Drake, Started from the Bottom, Now We're Here? OCGN has gone mainstream. So what this means, we're going to get a lot more attention from big funds, hedge funds, institutions, financial firms. And the reason why this is so key, we can look forward to seeing some more stable price action. We already know and we're bullish on the fact that, hey, OCGN is going to be able to get this done, and then Covaxin is going to be global, is going to be worldwide. So just knowing that, unless that fails, then yes, this stock can definitely tank. But we see this stock actually being able to get that job done and also being able to see it reflected in the stock price and making moves to the upside. Knowing that there's going to be a lot more institutional ownership, and not institutional, more institutional interest and funds wanting to invest in the stock because it's in the Russell 3000 index bodes very well. So as far as that price action is concerned, many people are saying, well, no, this stock could go back to $4, go back to $5. Something catastrophic would have to happen. So what we can look forward to is OCGN looking really strong above $7 at the bare minimum. Hey, I've been saying I want it to be holding up 8 until we get more news and more updates. So just knowing this overall in general, hey, I want to make sure you guys know that, especially if you are a shareholder. So just think about it. OCGN was down here. It was one of those biotech stocks that was struggling to be over $1. Now OCGN is up here and it's getting a lot more attention, not only from retail investors. They did a direct offering bringing in institutional investors, but this inclusion is going to bring in even more. It also gives them a lot more legitimacy. So that's why I want you guys to see the value in this. Now let's go over the post from Reddit, which I find very interesting as well. Again, this is strictly speculative here, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it. So, local company Lehman and DeFrilio Financial Resources LLC invests in OCGN. Lehman, I already said the name already, are the latest reported investors in OCGN, which you're going to be seeing on the Fintel portion in this video. They reported purchasing 21,000 shares for $140K. I decided to research this company for some reason and found out they're only 30 minutes from Ocugen in Malvern. This adds another local company to them investing in their business. Doesn't mean a whole lot, but I thought it was pretty cool / interesting. Hey, I'm here to tell you this is very, very interesting. And the reason is, when we take a look at financial firms in local areas of the company or the particular stock, in this case, like OCGN, there is a good chance they may know more information than any of us do. So as far as the likelihood of a deal going through, they may be able to have more access and be aware. They might even know someone inside of OCGN that is giving them that information. Of course, there are legalities around this particular issue, and that's why I'm not going to be really traveling down that road, because that's an entirely different video. But seeing that they're getting local interest, hey, there should be somewhat of a relationship there. I'm pretty sure this particular firm has had some sort of contact with OCGN. And why would you even invest that particular amount in regards to shares if you don't believe that, hey, they're going to be able to be making some moves going forward, and especially bringing in Covaxin to the US and of course into Canada. Another thing to also understand, this was also a transaction that was done in the first quarter, but it just ended up getting filed on Friday. So that is one thing to understand, but I do think it's a great way to really open your mind and see, local financial firms investing, okay. So there could be a lot of things that are going on, but like I was saying, this is extremely speculative. I'm not saying this indicates, hey, this is what's going to happen, but it is something to do take notice of. And the fact that there's confidence from an institutional investor that is nearby to Ocugen definitely bodes well as far as using it as a tool with our conviction, our homework, and as well as due diligence. So let's get into looking at Fintel, so the short interest information, then I'll give you guys my final thoughts. So we're now on Fintel. We're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for OCGN. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the most recent transaction here, we have filed for June the 4th. So this is on Friday. We have Lehman and DeFrilio Financial Resources LLC. They have an average share price of $6.81, but they do have a new position here having a total of 21,000 shares with a value change of 143,000. So this is something really good, and we can see this is a sizable investment. So this institution is looking out for seeing their returns on OCGN. So great to see. Now, if we take a look at the short interest information, the short volume ratio is at 21%, and of course this is taking into consideration the close as on Friday. What does this look like realistically? Out of the market volume, so shares that were traded, it was around 22.4 million, and out of that amount, 4.6 million of those shares were sold short. So that's why that's still fairly significant. Short shares availability stands at 300,000, updated 25 minutes ago, and the short borrow free rate stands at 5.59%, updated 25 minutes ago as well. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we know that on average OCGN is used to being above that 21% threshold. So we saw that, hey, on June the 3rd, it was at 20.05, and now it has gone up a little bit, right? So one of the things that we need to know and take a look at that fact is that it's still overall inside the market saying that this price needs to go down. That's why shares are being sold short. We already know that we're waiting on particular candidates to come through. So this is part of the reasons why there's a lot of volatility when it comes to this play. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, there's a lot to look forward to here. You guys already know the potential upside in this play. One thing we do need to understand is the fact the short interest is fairly significant. There's still a lot of shorting that is going on in this stock, and I want to make sure you're aware of this because this does present a lot of volatility. But one thing to also understand, OCGN's inclusion in the Russell 3000 index brings in a lot of attentions where there can be a lot of money coming from other funds. So what does this mean? We'll be able to see some stable movements in the stock price, but I'm not saying that there's not going to be any volatility whatsoever, because you already know this play is definitely going to be a speculative play at the moment because it is dependent on certain catalysts. Just knowing, hey, they had a local firm investing into the company and saying, hey, we're going to be buying 21,000 shares makes things get very interesting, because of course if they are local, they are close to OCGN, They might know some information that we do not know. I am not saying that they are exchanging information. Let me just be clear here, but it does bring up some interest and as well does add to our homework overall in general. Now, in regards to the stockholder meeting that's going to be going down on June the 11th, like I said, I'm going to be making another video that's going to be going over the details of what's going to be discussed in this meeting, but here's what I'm assuming here. I feel like if there's any information in regards to them and the EUA and the updates and so forth, it's going to be coming after that meeting or on that meeting, okay? We already also do know in regards to Bharat Biotech, they're still trying to get all of the details together as far as getting the EUL, which is with who? The World Health Organization. I feel like they're not going to be able to get all of that info ready, and they've also communicated this until near the end of June. I feel like it would definitely give them a lot of ammunition if they're able to get that done and then be able to have some of those documents or information that is submitted so they could send that over to Ocugen and they can handle what's going down inside the US and the EUA and so forth. That's just my hypothesis. That's what I'm feeling where this thing may go. Of course, it could change, of course, but I just feel like that's what I'm getting. But at the same time, I'm going to continue to do some more homework, do some more digging, and I'm going to be sharing it with you guys on this channel. But that's definitely how it's looking like, because I think it would be pretty good as well if they get the EUL and then they can say, hey, go to the FDA, be like, hey, we just got the EUL. What's up with that EUA? We need to get this done. We need to get Covaxin into the US and Canada. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon. And look out for that video tomorrow.